Let's see how well this is going to work out now, because it has been a while, and alright, actually I think I have to keep that thing open, full thing. Oh, nope, it's just not responding as soon as I start. Okay. Start immediately and the pngtuber immediately breaks. So working during the test and making sure I got everything working fine. Of course, as soon as I actually start streaming, it just not responding. Completely frozen. Just gonna exit out of it for a second. Go ahead and try and get that to work. Alright. Open it again. And alright. Is that and immediate cat interruption. I'm gonna move my mic closer, so I used to do. Keep it back when I'm not using it. Try and move it closer. And the cat's clicking on the mouse. Oh, this is first stream back and it's going wonderfully at the start. So good. You know, it's been a while and you don't even know what I'm doing, so you bug me immediately. You just know when the right time is to immediately crawl over the place and purr loudly. Get. Peanut, come on. Get. Careful of the tablet. Pretty makes up the entire space of the keyboard tray. It's very easy for it to slide off. No. Stop clawing the drawing tablet. Come on. You don't need to be in the way of everything. I'm trying to do something. Immediate cat interruption. Oh good. Oh good, oh good, oh good. Pick him up. Put him on the floor. So I can actually start. I wonder if the mic picks up the sound of the necklace I'm wearing, because it just went clink clink. My phone, the laptop, so I got like a few references saved in my photos for a few parts of You do this on purpose, don't you? You interrupt me on purpose. You interrupt me even when I'm not streaming. But usually you seem to give up sooner than you do when I am streaming. Stop climbing all over the mouse. Sure. I'm trying to do something here. It's been almost 5 minutes and I still haven't even started drawing yet. And now you're gonna eat my hair. Floor time for you. Alright. Now time to figure out. Alright, looks like it froze for a second there. Or maybe it's just the thing's kind of behind on the... Maybe it's... I already had to worry about fixing so much before, because not too much before actually starting streaming, seeing it's been a while, and trying to fix the pngtuber when it actually was frozen. So you know what, I'm just not gonna care how behind it is for this one. So I'm not sure how my previous attempts were too successful in fixing it either. Alright, so now I need to actually draw, and hopefully cat won't interrupt me. That's my hair gets stuck to my own hand. That's fun. Alright. You definitely do this on purpose. You can sit there, it's fine. Oh, something opened up. I don't want things to open up. Okay. So they're gonna look up a character to draw, to practice with. And alright, so that's the sketch. Don't worry about it looking too bad. Not I always overthink this. I always start overthinking even immediately. Okay, my voice is messing up. So I guess I am a little sick. Didn't know that before I started streaming. Now, of course, my voice starts sounding funny. I'm sick when I do decide to start. Alright. Always greatest timing with everything. Alright. Slam down the sketch in a bunch of colors. So why not? That's pretty sure that one was the undo button. Did I do the undo button and the redo button? That's the undo button all the way down there. Seriously. Looks like that got messed up as well. Alright. Don't know how that got messed up. No. Oh, I do not want to have to go in and fix this thing too. Oh, button shortcuts in the drawing tablet. It's literally just drawn the other day just because. And all the little button shortcuts are working fine like I like them to. Now somehow that got messed up as well. time being, that one's the undo shortcut. Alright. Focus there a little bit on trying to get things right. I think I can just reference the other sleeve for now, so I don't get too distracted from talking, trying to reference an actual photo. And you want to try like my art style to be like spiky and sharp, because I think art styles like angular, because I do think art styles like that are really cool. Try to do it myself. Right. And right. I'm gonna have to go back to a photo again, because I just don't want to save it and download it and like put out a reference in the thing. Stop messing the reference I have picked up on my phone for how I want to draw the eyes, Peanut. Messing everything up. So persistent. Stop messing things up. Whole things mess this stuff up on their own. You don't need to mess up things that are actually fine. Different green for different part of the eyes for what I'm referencing. Alright. Spiky eyelashes, because I love those. Try and do like. So I really like how they do the eyes in the Castlevania anime Netflix. I like how like the eyelashes are drawn, so trying to do it like how they do the eyelashes. Got a reference for a bunch of noses in a style that I also like, so now I can figure out which one I want to give Madoka. trying to fend off a cat's paw from my phone as I'm trying to look that stuff. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as I know what I'm trying to reference. Can fix like more precise details after. You bring it down a little bit more though. Alright. Time to draw hair. Reference that. Let's see. Right. Make sure I get that ear in. That one's going to be partially visible. And reference hair. Nice and fun and spiky hair. Bangs. Alright. Both look kind of silly in the sketching face. Fix it after. Alright. Alright, didn't switch back to the brush apparently. And sort of only go down to like here. I think is a good spot. I'll just make it just generally spiky and pointy. That looks pretty good. Go back purple so I can reference clothes. The rest of it, because I already got the sleeves done. Sleeves were like one of the first things I did. I think Cat is gonna try and lay down my phone because I'm not actively using it, and he knows that I'm using it for something every once in a while, but not right now. Darker purple. Ruffles. Oh, and also he's conveniently in front of where the pictures show up on Google. So I'm petting his head so I can distract him so I can look at the pictures. Figure out which one I want to use for reference. Alright, which one do I want to use? Okay, let's see. Figure out good reference for this next part. Go with that one. Alright. Time to clean up the sketch because the jumbled mess is gonna be terrible to actually work with. Right, figure out my mouses. Maybe go a bit smaller brush size. Right. Alright. And see. Not too big of brush erasure size. Alright. reference again. Okay. Move this lower. Alright, make the ruffles smaller. Feel like something's off about that though. How to sign clicking sounds of mine. Oh, cute. Tablet shortcuts. And right, this sleeve. Maybe it will help if I don't make the ruffles completely spiky. That just makes them a little. That just comps the height a little bit. Alright. That go in. Alright. That in slightly different spot. How to like the ruffles. And I'm definitely gonna want to do the eyes in a different color. Some more clarity as you're placing stuff out. You really don't want those eyelashes to be as long, so just shorten up quite a bit. And that sketch definitely looks a lot better. Well, question is, do I even want to go thinner with like when I line this? Because now so it's even less jumbled up with the thin lines, as opposed to a bunch of thick lines just smashing into each other. How thin is this line? Buttons on my sleeve keep on scraping against the tablet display, so I'm gonna bend my sleeve for a second so it stops scraping. Probably put the stylus pen down. Can bend my other hand. Get this out. Push the button through. Alright. Roll that sweet. Throw the messing up my reversing. Even did that even before I went on break. Nice to see that part stays. I always mess up my words even half line as well. Well, this is sketch brush, so maybe do I want to use that for a line art? This one I remember looking like kind of neat. Yeah, because this one's actually a bunch of little pictures of frogs. That obviously looks neat. Yeah, a frog face. Looks neat when it's all together in a dark line. So maybe that one for a line art. That's not just. The previous layer, alright. This one's just nice and smooth. Maybe not. Maybe a bit too smooth. Thinking about it. Does this one look like? Slightly bigger. Go ahead and save. But we're making progress. And decisions of what I want to do for the line art. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Aptly named line art pencil. Right. And right. Just kind of want to make the side spikier. So maybe like this side. Hair pretty pointy and stuff. Try and recreate that on the other side. And I think after this, maybe not in this stream, but a different one, I try the little other art stream, or try and revamp my style, and do what like those drawing like these 20 different styles challenges, like people do with different cartoons and like other artists in the community, online artists. Maybe do both the cartoon like sort of anime sort of one, and then like look at other styles like from other people, try and recreate theirs, and just try and see what common themes are like, and draw them myself, and get a feel for what I actually like doing as well, or how to achieve like different artists do. I think that would be pretty fun to do. Yeah, I was hoping to do more on this whole canvas. That's 40 minutes. Do a stream already. And I'm just working on the eyeliner for this. I'm probably gonna call it quits after I finish the line art. finish it in second art stream sometimes next week. Then maybe start one drawn in a bunch of different styles. Things. Have those be the art streams for a while. And got to sketch out a few parts, but those look like they'll be easy enough to just do as liner on their own. Just gonna liner these parts. In shorter lines right on those. This part. And those lines in. I just simplify that part actually, because that looks like that'd be kind of hard to draw in small detail. The outer thing looks kind of. And almost on liner. Oh, forgot that part of the bow up there. Oh, to sit in time. That is good. And the top of the head. This little circle back here. Curve. It's just sort of a... I'm just practicing it for different style tests, so you know what? I'm gonna let the eyes be wonky. Sometimes the art doesn't look like... does some parts don't look that good, and that's a normal thing of art. I accept that if I want to get anything done. Yeah, this is good. Time being. And alright, figure out where my mouse is. Save. Just going to check things. Yeah, not much for me to do now. Saved it. I'll be good now. Alright, it's the end of my first stream back in a while. Managed to get up into a line art done. Now to actually see my little pngtuber model actually work in action on the screen, which is neat. My little bouncy box cat. Alright, time to find where my mouse is. That's always the first step. It's the important part. Sure it's in the right spot. Open OBS. And then stop the stream. Alright.